Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and in this video I'm going to show you step by step how you can set up and start your own Skool community. To make this even better, if you want to grab a 14-day free trial of Skool, you can do so using the top link down in the description. So once you click on that link, it's going to take you over to this page right here. So just enter in some basic information, your first name, last name, email, and then create a password. And then once that is entered, we can click on sign up. It's then going to send us a verification email, which looks something like this. So all we have to do is copy this, and then we can paste this into Skool and go to the next step. Now on this next page, as you can see, you can get a 14-day trial from using that link. So all we have to do is enter in a group name. I'm just going to call this GeForce North, and then we can enter in our card information. From here, click on start free trial. And just like that, we now have our Skool group. You can see my Skool group is now created up here. So we now need to just complete your profile, and this is going to be the profile that you use to interact in the Skool community. So let's set a profile picture right here. I will go for this beautiful image, so we can drop that in, and then we can add a bio. So once your bio is added in, we can then click on complete. And in here, we now need to set up the community. So we have a very basic, very bare bones version of the community. However, we really need to set things up. We need to add some courses in here, set up the calendar, maybe even add a paywall. So to do this, just click on settings right here. And then from the settings area, so you have your Skool link right here. This is what you want to share to get people to join your group. But go into general on this left-hand side. And then the first thing we are going to do is upload a group icon. So I can upload this right here. I'm just going to leave it as this. And then you can see this is going to change the group icon right here. Maybe not right now, but when I save this, it will. And then we can also add a cover or a banner. And if you don't have a banner yet, then I recommend using this website called Canva. Let's have a look at the dimensions. So this needs to be 1084 by 576. So we can go create design, custom size. What was this? 1084 by 576, like this. Then we can click create new design. And in here, you can either use one of these templates, or you can use the elements to design this from scratch. So elements, you can basically put anything in here. If I wanted to go for tech, I could search tech, and then I'm going to get a load of tech graphics. But I think it's much easier to do this from one of these templates. Once again, if we go to search templates and search for tech, we're going to get a load of tech templates. But I'm just going to exit back, and then we can choose any of these. These are fully editable, so we can click in here. Let's just add this. So we can change the image in here. If you want to change any text, all we have to do is click on the text and start typing, and then you can edit the banner this way. So once your banner is saved, we can then go to share, download, and then we want to make sure this is downloaded as a PNG. So let's go download, and that is now saved. So we can upload this, and then I'm going to upload this banner right here. And just like that, you can see I now have my banner. We can then go down and add a group description right here. So you can type out essentially whatever you like here. Just give a 150 character description of your group. So I'm just going to say this is a test group. You can then change the group initials right here. Now this is not really going to matter when you have a profile icon, because it's just going to show up right here. So I'm going to leave this. Then the color is the same. As long as you have an icon, this is not going to make a difference. Then we can also choose if this is a private group or a public group. So this is completely optional. And once you have set this up, we can click on update settings. Then we can go down to subscriptions. And this is where we can add a price if you want a paid group. Of course, if you do have a paid group, make sure this is set to private so people cannot just access it from the outside. But we can go add a price here. And then we need to connect up Stripe in order for Skool to be able to actually pay us. So click on continue right here, and then we can set up some of this information, like what country is your bank account in. Then we can just go through and continue to set up Stripe right here. So I, of course, already have a Stripe account, but if you don't, it's very easy to do. And Stripe will give you step-by-step instructions on exactly how to set up and link your card. And those are like the back-end settings of how we can set up Skool. So the next thing that we can do is go into the classroom right here, and this is where we can create courses. So we can click on add course and then add a course name. So I'm just going to title this how to grow 100,000 YouTube subscribers. We can then add a course description right here. then we can choose who has access to this course. So we have 3 different options. All members have access, only some members have access, or members of a certain level. Now, essentially the members of a certain level, what this means is essentially what you can do is within the community, you can set up leaderboards right here, and you can set the leaderboards so that the more people are active and post within the group, they are going to move up these leaderboards right here. So let's say somebody is active in the group and they get to level 7. What we can do in the classroom is set this to members of a certain level and then set this to 7. And only people who are active in the group who become that level 7 or whatever level this is can get access to this course. So you can set that up, but I'm just going to have this as all members can access. And then we can also add a course cover right here, the same dimensions that this was before. So I'm just going to upload the same cover here as an example. So that's then going to be added in. And then you can choose if this is a draft or published course. So for now, I'm just going to leave this as a draft, and then we can click on add. And in here, we can now start building out this course. So once again, in Classroom, we now have this course. We can go in here and start adding in these modules. So let's call this first module. Let's go in and edit this and say this is setting up your channel. So this is the first module right here. Then we can add in a video. So to do this, we basically need to add in a YouTube, Vimeo, Loom, or Wistia link. In my opinion, Loom is going to be a lot easier as it saves you from having to upload to the platform, wait for that loading time, and having it on that platform. And if you don't know what Loom is, it's essentially this screen recorder. It makes things super easy. So all you have to do is click record. It's then going to record your screen and you can have yourself in the corner over here. Alternatively, you can also set it up so you're the full page and you don't have your screen recorded, but it's completely up to you. And this is a paid platform within reason. So with the free account, you can basically record videos up to 5 minutes and have 25 videos. But then for the business where everything becomes unlimited, it's only $12 per month. So that's the one that I recommend, but you can upload videos to YouTube, Vimeo, Loom. So you can add your video in there. You can also add a little description down below. And then we can click on save. And as you can see, that module is now added in. But in this example, just to make things easier, I'm going to use a YouTube link. So I'm just going to go over to my channel and grab a random video right here. And then we can paste this into Skool. And as you can see, that video has now been added in. So we can add the video right there. And then below this, we can add in a description. So we could do this and say like key takeaways, and then have a bulleted list right here that just looks like this. And then we can click on save. And just like that, we now have this video added in. So that is the video or the module added in right there. And then what we can do is change the name of this section at the top. So click on these 3 dots and then go to edit set. And then we can come up with a name. So I'll just call this part 1. And then we can add this in right here. And then if you want to create a new set, we can go add set and call this like part 2. Click add. And then we can go in here and add new modules to each of these sets right here to start building out the course. So that is the courses right there. And that's how you can build out all of these different courses. So then we can go over to calendar, and this is where we can start adding different things onto the calendar. So let's say we have some live calls within the Skool community. What we can do is click on this plus icon in the top right corner, and we can add events in right here. Now, usually these are going to be Zoom calls. Like you can add Google Meets, or you can add like live meetups if that's something that you want to do. But usually these are going to be Zoom calls. So let's just call this a coaching call with me. Then we can add a date. Let's say this is tomorrow at 12 p.m. say for an hour. Then we can set the time zone. So I will leave this as London. And then we can choose if this is a recurring event. So let's just say this recurs weekly on the same day. Then we can add the Zoom link in right here. And we can add a description of this. Then we can also choose who can attend this event. So all members or members at a certain level. We can upload a cover image. And then we can also choose to remind members by email 1 day before. So once all of that is added, we can then click on add. And as you can see, when we go back, we are now going to have this as a weekly recurring event. Then your Skool members can come in here, click onto this call or whatever you set up here. And then usually if I actually added a Zoom link, that would show up right here. So they can click on this and be taken straight through to Zoom. or alternatively, they can add this to their calendar. In the members section, this is where we can see all of the active members right here. We can see the price that they pay. We can see what kind of access they have, the date they joined. Then we can also see cancelling. So any members that are cancelling and is coming up. And then we can also go to the churn section and see old members that we used to have that cancelled their subscription. From this section, you can click on invite, and this is where you can be taken back to get your invite link at any time. And whilst we are actually in the settings, let's actually go to categories. So the categories, this is in the community when people are making posts. You can see down here, let's say we create a title on how can I use my PC. We can go to here, and this is where you can set up your categories. So we could maybe have a category for tech help. We could have a category for tech tips. And if you have used Reddit, they have something very similar to this, where you can create different categories. And this is going to split posts up so that your members can come along. And then at the top here, they will be able to flick between different categories to be taken to that area. So just to show you this in action, let's go to settings. And then I will add a category for tech help. Then we can add a description and permissions on who can view this. So let's add this category. And then let's also go for tech tips and add this. Then if we back out and I hit refresh, you can see we have these categories that will show up at the top. And if we go over to tech help, this is now only going to show posts that people in here, when they created this, tagged this with tech help. Now in here, another important thing is just to show you how the posting system works. So let's say I want to come in here and give a post. Maybe I want to give like the top 5 tech tips. I can put this in here, start writing out my post. Then I can also add an attachment to this. I can add a link. I can add a YouTube video. I can add a poll. So let's say we want to add a poll in here. And in the poll, I want to say, who is the best YouTuber? I realize this post doesn't make any sense, but it's just as an example. And then I can say like Mr. Beast, PewDiePie, and so on and so forth. So that is the poll. And then obviously people can vote on that. Then we can also add an action. So in here, we can describe an action. So we can say go outside and touch grass, something like that. And then as soon as somebody comments on this, the action will be marked as complete. So what we can do is now click on post. And then we can, we need to select the category. So we can say tech help, post this right here. And then as you can see, this has now been posted. So this is how all of the posts are going to show up from all of the different members. What you can do with posts as well is click into these, click on these 3 dots, and then you can pin to feed. And if we pin right here, this is always going to show up at the top of the community. So any important posts we can pin right there. What we can also do is go in here, we can change the category, we can delete posts, we can unpin this, we can pin this to specific modules, report posts, and then we can also turn off comments. Also, you can edit your post at any time to completely change this. And that's a very cool feature right there. Then the final thing that I want to talk about is this leaderboard section and how do we actually set this up. So we can go to leaderboards right here, click on this settings icon, and then in here we can set up, it's called gamification, and we can set up all of these levels. So let's say level 1 is just basic and you get everything at this level. Then we can go to level 2 and say this is intermediate, just like this. And then we can go down to the 3rd one, set this up and put names for all of these right here. Then in the classroom area, you can go through and add these courses. So let me just make this public right here, published. Then we can click on save. And if I now go back over to the leaderboard area, we can see at level 2 intermediate, this is going to unlock this course. So that's how you can set that up right there. The leaderboards, so the top people who contribute to the community are going to show up in these areas. And that is how you can use and set up a Skool community. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.